Okay, this is a review of release notes for version 4.4. Probably not anything to actually demo or show with this one, so I'm just going to whiz through the items. Probably a shorter one today. So with the beta features, previously we had advanced module import-export beta feature and an improved module search. Those items have now been implemented into the system, so they're come out of the beta section and are now on full time. And a new beta feature has been added for date time management. So pretty much any date field that's in the system, whether it's custom module or a system field, can now have enabled for time as well. So you can add the time as well as the date. And then the next backlog item here just goes into some details about where that's available. It's pretty much across the board to be able to set the time in any of the existing date fields. And there's just a few other backlog items here relating to the same thing. So you can also set the time in import and export. We'll accept that. And also with a user submitted item on the create and update form. So, but just remember that's a beta feature, so you've got to turn that on if you want to use that. And with the user submitted, if you're creating your own form to do that, there's just a link here to the Mozilla docs for the date time local input. So you change your input field, or input type to a date time local. That will give you sort of like the default user interface for setting the date and the time. Or I guess you can use a JavaScript plugin to override that and create your own interface. So next backlog item, just some updates to how the event calendar was working. Again, to take into account the date time, the new time stamps. So, and then now we've got a new liquid object for the time zone of the site. So you'll see a new liquid property or new object in the request item called time zone, which will spit out the label and the offset, which sort of looks like this down here as an example. And then here's an example of using that if you wanted to output that onto your site. Then we have duplicating existing modules. So basically, if you set up a custom module, there's now the ability to completely duplicate that whole module setup. So the settings, the properties, the custom properties, and its layouts, everything except the actual data, like the items within that module. So you can just duplicate the entire setup. Just one note on that, it is restricted to the Pro Plus plan only, so it's a bit of a bummer, but that's the way it is. And then we now have access to the WYSIWYG and Ace Editor switch for form autoresponders. So you can use the WYSIWYG there as well now. And just goes into details about the process on how that saves the settings on what you used last and what the admin remembers, basically. You can read through that if you want to. Then we've got some bug fixes. So again, for the calendar, so when you're generating the include tag or the component tag for the calendar in the toolbox, it's now going to recognize if you have the advanced search beta flag on, just because it'll output different values, just with the new way that's working. And again, in the calendar, in the JavaScript in the include file, there's just some adjustments made again for that advanced search, if the advanced search beta flag is on. So the actual builder will do that, will take that into account. There was a bug with adding an image into an image field. If you're uploading that image, it would select, I think it was the first image in the folder rather than the one you uploaded. So that's been fixed. And a bug with the URL redirects, so it will now recognize the .html extension if you want to redirect from the .html to just a page without the extension. That should now work. And then there was just some weird sort of time zone related issues when reviewers submitted custom module items. Just on that first form response, the dates weren't coming along or weren't honouring the site time zone. Bit of a, probably not a bug that's going to affect anything really, but it's just good to clean that up. Okay, so that was a quick one. Yeah, basically just the release time I think is the big feature of this release. Being able to set that time is just going to give us a lot more control for expiry dates and things like that. Alright, thank you.